It's a physical game.
Oh, me, oh, my! A monster jam by Blake Griffin.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy 2.1, and you're tuning into history. Remember this video because it'll be the first of many. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Every decade, a new face enters the league that transcends every aspect of the game. They dominate their competition, and even with some flaws, their strengths engulf those weaknesses, and we deem them the next prodigy. Players like Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, LeBron, and Steph Curry all met or surpassed expectations, and the next generation has brought us a player of that caliber. That man is Ben Simmons, aka the Fresh Prince, Big Ben, the Wizard of Oz. In his first season playing, Ben Simmons is averaging 17.3 points, 8.9 rebounds, and 7.8 assists while shooting 51% from the floor. Essentially, these are more layups, dunks, and floaters rather than jump shots because he doesn't feel the need to shoot, and I don't blame him because his shot is atrocious. When he does shoot, he's looking more relaxed, but his strength is getting through traffic to finish at the rim. But what makes Ben so gifted is that even with this deterrent, he's able to still score at will, and I'm sure his shot will mature in the future, which will be a scary sight for anyone who's assigned to guarding this 6'10" point guard. That's right, 6'10". That's like Kevin Garnett mixed with Steve Nash dishing dimes on the daily, which makes it so hard to believe that in his rookie season, Simmons is on par to average a triple-double, which brings up the question, could he average a triple-double over a season, or where will he end up in his career on the all-time list? For those of you who may not know, a triple-double is when a player reaches double digits in 3 of these categories: points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks. That feat of averaging a triple-double over the course of a season would put him in elite company with only 2 other players to have achieved this milestone. The first being Oscar Robertson in 1961 and Russell Westbrook last year. This was a record no one thought could be achieved, let alone be broken, and yet Russell did it while carrying the Thunder all season. In my opinion, Ben Simmons could achieve this record within the next 5 years based on a couple of factors. He's already tied 8th in the league in double-doubles and outpaced LeBron's 12 double-doubles in his rookie season with 16 double-doubles and 3 triple-doubles in only 26 games. That's just crazy to see how effortless it is and how much more easy it'll be once he develops into the player we all think he can be. Probably his biggest asset is the maturity he displays on court. He's only 21, yet he plays with the poise and tenacity of a veteran leader. Multiple defenses are thrown at him, but instead of rushing to make a play, he stays unfazed and dissects what the defense is giving him. While they're playing checkers, he's strategically playing chess. Even former players recognize his brilliance, such as Dominique Wilkins, who stated, "You rarely ever see a guy at his age, at the beginning of his career, with that type of natural feel for the game." They try to keep him out of the paint and try to make him a jump shooter, but he finds a way to be effective. He's growing through the learning process now, but he's learning very quickly. He's special. I mean, that's high praise coming from one of the greatest to ever play, and what's even more impressive is that Simmons recognizes this too. Although he's only a quarter of the way through his first season, he stated that he hasn't even scratched the surface and that there's a lot more. There's way more in terms of his game. Another critical factor of his ever-evolving game is his aptitude for passing the ball. This can be attributed to his Aussie nature, as the Australian game is built more on fundamental passing foremost rather than scoring prowess. Simmons is already an elite passer. He currently stands 4th in the league in assists per game behind All-Stars James Harden, Russell Westbrook, and LeBron James, which can be credited to his pass-first mentality and killer perception that only generational players are blessed with. And with the NBA's continuous growth into a more 3-ball dependent league and baskets in transition, which he excels at, is completely catered to Ben, who is looking to push the ball as quickly as possible and find open shooters when the defense doesn't fully commit to him. And with Joel Embiid, who's as deadly on the interior as he is from the perimeter, Robert Covington, who is having his best statistical year, shooting 40% from 3, and JJ Redick, who has always been known as a knockdown 3-point specialist, it makes Ben's job that much more easy. I mean, if you don't commit to him getting to the cup, he has a team of shooters to dish it out to. And don't get me wrong, he doesn't have the best cast of efficient shooters like the Splash Brothers or the Houston Rockets, but his passing is always on cue. It's not even the simple passes that he makes either. Some of these passes he's making look like that of a player who's been dishing assists left and right for years, yet he's doing the unthinkable as a rookie. Not even Magic Johnson or LeBron were this efficient as rookies. They only assisted on 25.2 and 27.8% of their team's possessions respectively while on the floor. Ben's current assist percentage stands at 33.7% of total possessions, and with LeBron being his mentor, it'll only solidify the greatness that he could reach. And since he primarily plays point guard, he's a matchup nightmare. The average point guard in today's NBA is between 6'2 and 6'4, and that makes it extremely hard to guard Simmons. I mean, how many point guards do you know are 6'10, can guard all 5 positions, and has the ability to go coast to coast and finish like LeBron or Giannis? The kid is only 21, yet he has freakish athleticism and is built like he was carved from the mountain of the basketball gods. And I know what you're saying, he's comparing him to LeBron too much, but when grown men bounce off of you like a bad check, who else are you going to compare him to? Like I said before, he's a pure point guard at 6'10", so his matchups every night are going to be at a severe disadvantage. No matter who you stick on him, that allows for a mismatch at a different position that can easily be exploited. So unless you can consistently put 5 players on the court who can switch defensively, Simmons will get to the cup and finish with either hand like Curry shoots threes. Maybe that's exaggerating a bit, but he's a freight train around the rim and I'm definitely not taking the charge. Even though he's doing great this season, his biggest downfall is his jump shot. He's only attempted 7 threes and missed them all, so defenses try to go under screens as much as possible since he's not a perimeter threat, but he can develop his shot and he may need to switch to his right hand to see better percentages. It also looks like he's shooting on the way down, which would affect his shot greatly and be a strong reason for his inconsistent touch. Since he is ambidextrous and has been seen shooting with his right hand, the switch may prove to be his calling card. Right now, he uses his left hand 100% of the time when shooting jumpers and free throws, but at LSU, he used his right hand 81.8% of the time on all other shots, which were layups, dunks, floaters, and running hooks. He does about everything else with his right hand, like throwing, eating, and writing. Even Simmons said, "I think I was supposed to be right-handed." So if you're saying you're supposed to be right-handed, why not make the switch then? Who knows, he might surprise us all next year and make that change. It'll help his free throw percentage too, since he's shooting 55%, which is just mind-boggling. Like, I know you're a rookie, but free throws are the easiest part of the game, and it seems like it's the hardest for so many people. But the majority of players develop their shot after a couple of years, since they don't have to worry about little things like homework in class like college students do. Their time is fully dedicated to their craft, so whatever hand Ben decides to use, he'll definitely be able to grow a consistent jump shot with the hours he's able to put in. The floor is already spaced for him because he has 3 to 4 shooters on the floor every time, but once he can step out and shoot consistently, it'll make him a 3-headed monster on the offensive end. This is what allowed Russell Westbrook and James Harden to be so dominant last year, because they were able to draw so much attention from defenses who knew they were as much of a perimeter threat as they were an interior threat. Defenses collapsed on them and they would kick it out for open shooters, and nothing is more efficient and comfortable than a non-contested shot. Aside from his great passing instinct, he's an aggressive rebounder who's currently averaging 8.9 rebounds a game. At his height and his freakish build, he has the ability to grab boards at will, and with his current course and usage rate on the court, he'll most likely average a double-double over the season. With Russell last year, it was like his teammates gave him some of those boards every game, though a lot were earned without question. But Simmons is a different animal. He's 16th in the league behind centers and power forwards. The only other ball handler in the top 20 is Westbrook. For a rookie to be top 20 in rebounds and top 5 in assists as a point guard speaks volumes of his potential, and I can't wait to see what his scoring prowess can become. He already looks the part of a player who could average a triple-double over the season with the path he's following now, but this will all still be dependent on the core the 76ers surround him with. He needs more marquee established talent around him that can open the floor and allow him to fully blossom due to their own stature on the court, and this will all take time to run its course. But for now, we're getting a great chapter in the novel that is Ben Simmons. Could he be this generation's transcendent player and completely change the landscape of the NBA? We'll just have to wait and trust the process.